Good morning. Here is Berlin, Germany. It is November the 9th, 2016, and Donald Trump is the next president of the United States of America. What a fucking glorious day. I mean, seriously, until the last day, until yesterday, I was so anxious and uncertain what would happen. I didn't know. I really didn't know. And the drumbeat of the regressive left mass media, of the actors, journalists, all the left liberal elite in the last months was really unprecedented. So I was really uncertain. But you, my American brothers and sisters, and I call you brothers and sisters because we fight for the same thing, for the freedom of the nation and against globalism and authoritarianism from the left. You, my American brothers and sisters, have stood up courageously with dignity and pride for the future of freedom, of dignity, and of integrity against the false and corrupt lies of the left mass media and the entire clique around Hillary and the elite of the Democratic Party. This was unprecedented, I think, and I am quite sure that this day will go into history for all the time to come. It is a true, glorious, great moment of change for all of us who fight for true freedom of speech, for true individual freedom, and against the name-calling, bullying, oppressive politics of the authoritarian left. You know, earlier this morning, I was going to my massage. I'm a little bit of a bad back, and to the baker to get some sandwiches. And I wasn't walking, I was marching. Here was a wonderful sunrise. There was a really blood-red sun earlier in the morning. And then when I was walking down the streets, marching, like hearing glorious, heavenly, divine music in my mind. And I was marching upright again. I felt like a great curse lifted from my shoulders, all of our shoulders. For the first time in months, maybe in years, I was walking through the street upright, confident, with a smile on my face. I suppose the people meeting me in the streets would suppose I had fallen in love because I was so happy that this had actually worked out. And I'm sure all of you who fought for this cause, both in the United States and abroad, we all feel how thankful and happy we are to experience this moment. My friends, it is not my way to do gloating or laughing or mocking our enemy, despite the fact that I am dead sure if Hillary Clinton would have won this election, there would be endless gloating and arrogance and vicious slandering against our side. We know this to be true. But now that we have won, let us show the dignity that we have, because there is politics to be done and not looking back. I really hope, I'm not sure if they will do it, but I hope and call for those who opposed us all those months. You can continue to oppose us, but do so now in the arena of political debate again. Stop the slandering, stop the name calling, stop calling racism, sexism, homophobia, Islamophobia. Stop all those buzzwords and slandering and name calling. These words are meaningless. It is over. We must go back to the true political, reasonable, rational, fact-based debates, as is worthy of a democracy, as is worthy of a republic. Until to our camp, we all are aware that this is an epic victory. Who would have thought that we, a ragtag band of hated, name-called, oppressed, all average people, could resist the continuous onslaught of media propaganda and left-wing extremism against us. All the slander, they are sitting in all the position in power in the media and in the establishment, and against insurmountable, impossible odds, Donald Trump has, for all of us who love freedom, won this victory. Whatever happens in the future with him, with his politics, we owe this man everything, and we owe this man our support and our allegiance for all the arrows he took, for all the slander and the personal attacks he endured, most calm and dignified, for all of us and the freedom of the West, and especially, of course, that America can be great again. This is a tremendous victory because it is a signal for all of the Western civilization that the machinations of left-wing Marxist radicals who want to bring in collectivism, authoritarianism and censorship, that they will not have the final say in history. To use a phrase of our esteemed enemy against them, they are on the wrong side of history. And to have another phrase of them, it's 2016. I always wanted to say that phrase against them. It's the current year. Get to Donald Trump's side. Isn't it wonderful to be on the right side of history? You know, in all seriousness, let us celebrate today and the next few days, for we deserve celebration. We truly deserve it. This was an unbelievably harsh fight, and I know there are many heroes out there. Just think of the cartoonist, for one, as an example. The Dilbert cartoonist, what's his name? I think Scott Adams, who lives in California and could not in the open even say he sides with Trump on the risk of life and health. His story stands for thousands of Americans, but also supporters of our camp, all in the Western civilization, who were oppressed and made afraid at the risk of losing job and even life if you did not comply to the leftist mass media elite authoritarian opinion. If you even calmly try to argue to be for Donald Trump, you risked everything under the current circumstances. And despite the bullying, despite the slandering, despite the oppression, and the tremendous risks everyone had to face who was speaking up for Donald Trump and for national independence of the countries of the people, you were risking so much. All of you in the United States who spoke up for Donald Trump has my deepest and most sincere thanks. And I am sure in that I speak for everyone here in Germany and here in Western Europe who share the common agenda against globalization, against collectivism, against the left agenda. We all are united in this common goal, and this year is the beginning of the counter-revolution against their machinations to create a new world order. Brexit was just the first, and as we see in Britain, is one thing. You know the sentence that freedom requires eternal vigilance. The other side, we must know for sure, the other side will never let it rest. Some, the nobler among them, are saying now, okay, we have to accept it and work for politics. There are noble people, even among Hillary supporters. I think they are misguided. But there are a lot of people in the left group among our enemies, and I must say they are our enemies, because their rhetoric was about our death, our destruction, not just about election. We know how they spoke, how even leading mass media and newspapers actually wrote that they wished that Trump supporters would die. Regular mass media newspapers were writing that. What did I want to say? Oh yes, we have to be vigilant in the time to come, because they will try everything to stop Donald Trump from implementing anything. So we must continue to support him. We must continue to fight. But today and in the days to come, all you people, you can walk upright again with a smile, knowing what we can do. Today, when I was walking early to the baker, there was this guy coming towards me on the street, looking like a Taliban from Afghanistan, Kabul, with his long beard and his Afghan clothing. And I was walking upright and smiling. And there was this feminist lesbian woman with her pink hair, short cut, and her fish mouth and her stern face. And I was walking upright and smiling. And there was this left-wing Marxist teacher with his Che Guevara button on his jacket, with his filthy, dirty, unkempt hair. And I was walking upright, relaxed and smiling, because they will not be the future. My friends, let us enjoy this tremendous victory. We have won this great and important campaign for the survival of the Western civilization and freedom for all the people and nations. But once the festivities are over, do not put the sword in your cellar or away. Do not put the spears of liberty down and away, or your shield of justice and truth, because the campaign is won, but the war continues. They will not let it rest. We must continue this pathway until we have established this irreversibly in the Western civilization, and all the great machinations are smashed. The European Union must be next to fall, and all those trade agreements must fall next, like TTIP and how they are all called. Their opposition will be tremendous. What I hope is that the Republican Party savors the victory, understands the meaning that Trump is the necessary change for the Republican Party, because he has changed what it means to be a Republican. And in my opinion, to a moderate way, which is necessary in our days. That the Stone Age conservatism of the old Republican Party has been overcome into a new libertarian conservatism that it has to be. At this day of all days, let us feast and celebrate, for it is a great victory and a success and win of this great and important campaign. We have all hope again, but it is just the marshalling cry and the rallying cry for the many important battles to come. For this battle is won, but the war is going into the decisive phase now in the future. May the heavens bless you all.